Good morning, everybody. It is Friday, May 28th. This month has gone by extremely fast. Let me do some housekeeping real quick, make sure my sound is good. If you are watching this live, let me know if you can hear me. If you're watching it on the replay and for whatever reason you have some sound issues, just let me know and just do the whole training over. Let's see, let me refresh my Facebook page, make sure that everything is good on there. Let me do some housekeeping real quick, make sure my sound is good. Okay, we are good to go. Well, thank you so much for tuning in again. It is part 3 of our 7-part series for creating a business operations hub through ClickUp. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Sasha FIgueroa. I am the CEO of FIgueroa Virtual Services. Within my company, we help coaches and service providers create streamlined systems and processes so that way they can increase their growth, their client management, their client intake, and we all want to get to 6 figures. If you missed the first 2 parts of this, they are on my page. If you are coming from the private group that we have, the Business Elevation community, then you can just kind of scroll up a little bit or scroll back and see that there is part 1 and part 2. Same thing for the business page, FIgueroa Virtual Services, as well as the personal page if you were coming from the personal page. So just to get started, if you have any questions during the training, please feel free to put it into the comments. I have no problem stopping real quick and going over and answering your question. Now, if I find that it's an extensive question, I'll let you know, and then we'll talk off of the live. We'll connect. On the bottom of my screen, you can see that my website is scrolling along the bottom. If you are looking, I just got my website redone. So if you are looking to kind of check it out, give some feedback, definitely visit it, FIgueroaVirtualServices.com. If you find that this training is helpful for you, then you can always go there and set up an appointment with me. You can apply for my amazing VIP days, and we'll get you on a schedule. And that's it. Let's get into this. So the last 2 days, we talked about basically an overview of ClickUp. We talked about how to actually create like a folder, a task list, a to-do list, what you can use it for. We set up a social media, basically like a social media to-do section of Outflow, and I will show you that in a second. Let's bring myself on screen. Okay, so this is the one we did yesterday. We actually did this one. I'm going to take myself off the screen so that way you guys can see better, but you will still be able to hear my voice. Okay, so this is the one we did yesterday. It is the reach out to at least 5 new contacts per platform. And then we extended it. We have a little description here, and then we added a few subtasks, and the subtasks, they are the different platforms that you want to really connect with. Now, if you find that your customers or your client base, maybe they're not on Clubhouse or maybe they're not on Instagram, don't put as much time there if your people are not there. If you are not sure where your people are, one simple way, there are many ways to figure this out, but one simple way is just post everywhere and see where you're getting the most engagement, see where you're getting the most, the interaction with the people, comments, maybe DMs, whatever it is. And then that's how you know that's where your people that are interested in what you're providing, that's where they're at. So we just set this up yesterday. We did the subtest, like I said. I went in and clicked on Facebook, which is, let's go back one more time. So what I went over yesterday was that this is a task, and then you see these are subtasks, like I had said, and you could actually go into the subtask, and then they have their own section that you can fill in information, which I did, which is right here. I gave you some, basically because you can't do subtask in subtask, so I put it in here as a checklist, and I could easily just check them off like that. But if you want to see how this was created, definitely go and check out part 2. So today we are going to talk about mind mapping, and we're going to talk about how to add someone to your workspace. I would say that getting somebody new onto the workspace is probably the most questions that I get from clients. So we're going to do a quick little view right here. So down here in the corner, we have 2 little bubbles, and they are just abbreviated initials. So right here, I have T for training. This is my workspace. This is a clubhouse group that I'm part of, Ladies Hustle Harder. And then this is my company products and offers that I work on, behind the scenes when I'm trying to create things to release to you guys. So also down here, you have all the settings that you need to do pretty much anything. So we have settings, import, export, click apps, spaces, integrations, templates, trash, of course, my settings, notifications, layout. You can change the layout. You can personalize it a lot more. Apps, which is like any third party apps that maybe that are available. And then the difference between apps and click apps is this is like opening up. Do you want to be able to see, different type of things here? They make them available for you, but I'm not going to get into that just yet. And then of course, rewards, log out, help, hotkeys, and dark mode. So dark mode is just like that. I like it like this. So I like the white, and then I like my post. I like all these colors to stick out a lot more. So right now we're going to click on that again, and we're going to go to people. We're going to invite. Now, depending on the account type you have, it determines how many guests you have and how many members you can have. This space right here that I created is a basic space. So I have one guest, and then I have an owner, which is myself. So I can add a guest, and this is beneficial to if you are someone who has clients and you want your guests to be able to see the progress of your project that you're working on for them, or even if they're in a coaching program and you want them to, like, if you have it mapped out, it's a 3-month coaching program and you have it mapped out to what the 3 months is going to look like. You really don't want them to be able to change anything, but you want them to be able to see basically what they're paying for. I will tell you right now that visibility and transparency, clarity, communication, all of those are so important when it comes to clients, especially when you're looking to have high paying clients. You really got to hone in on those communication and those visibility and transparency skills. That is a non-negotiable. So if I wanted to add someone in here, I will either search them by name. So this right here, the search by name, this is for somebody that I already invited inside of ClickUp, not somebody new. This is somebody that might be in a different folder, might be in a different space, and I want to invite them in because they're already in here. Then we have this section over here where we are inviting a new person. So I would write the email or emails that I want to invite, and then I will decide what type of person they're going to be. Are they going to be a member, an admin? And then of course we have the guest here. We can do the same thing here. We can add a guest. So when you do that, they get an invite saying, hey, you've been invited to so-and-so's ClickUp, so-and-so's workspace. They accept it, and then they create a password, and that is officially their ClickUp. Basically, they have a ClickUp account through that name. And of course, they don't pay. They come in on a free version unless they want to upgrade themselves. So let's get into the main part that I want. Well, actually, before I do that, let's look over here. So we have teams, which we can create teams. So this is really beneficial if you have multiple people on your team, or even if you don't have multiple people, if you have different sections, maybe like marketing, admin, financial, but you want everybody on here. This is a really good place to put that. Or maybe you have like in-house team, and then you have like subcontractors or something like that, part-time clients or part-time team members, things like that. So let's go back. I want to get into this mind mapping. Super, super excited about it. So let's get into the mind mapping. For those of you that don't know what mind mapping is, it is just like it sounds. You're mapping out something that's in your mind, but you're mapping it out to where you can visually see it. When I set up operations for people, I mind map, well, essentially everything before I start implementing it in. Now I do have templates and I have, workflows already in process, processes already, put into the system. But sometimes I want to make sure that I want to say like starter workflow is a good fit for this client. So what I would do is I will do, here, let me close out of this full screen. Okay. I want to exit full screen. I want to talk to you guys real quick. So if I'm mapping something out, I sometimes, like I said, if I have a basic workflow, I want to make sure that that workflow works for that client, which 95% of the time, the way it is works exactly for the client. But sometimes I do have to tweak it here and there. Also, if I have a title on an email that maybe says like, I have an email that says good fit, you're a good fit. So when someone applies for my VIP days, I want to make sure that I actually can help them and they're going to be paying a high price for this service and it's a good fit for them. So they apply, I review it, and then I decide, okay, person is a good fit, this person is not a good fit. So if I have an email titled in my workflow that says good fit, it might not be the same for somebody else. Maybe they don't do a process that people apply. Maybe they let people go straight to the consultation call, which is fine. But those are the little things that I kind of got to change. Or maybe they do a good fit email, but it's called something different. So I want to edit it to fit that person's stuff. So that's where, like I said, I go through the process. I have my templates, I have my workflows, but sometimes I got to switch up a little bit. Okay. Let's get back to this. So let's do some mind mapping. So here we're going to go to view. So whenever I want to add something to my view or my workspace, you go up here, you see what's here. So I got the board view, which is right here already. We have the task view, which is right here. And then look at this. So we got Asana, Trello, and then bam, Slack. Now, why is this so helpful to have a chat within a project? Because you're looking now, okay, I'm going to be 100% honest. Slack, you have channels. That's wonderful. But there's times where you either have too many channels because you have so many things that you're working on, or even with the channels, you still got to search. So what's really good about this, you can still search, is the chat is attached to the task area. So that's why I like this better, because it's specific to the area, specific to the project, and you're not having to make extra channels here and there. It's just one chat associated with the whole project. Now, this is a Google Doc, essentially a Google Doc. It is a doc in ClickUp. I'm going to show you that. So they gave, remember, I pulled this as a template from yesterday. So they gave basically the SOP or the workflow for this template. So how to use this template. And then this is what they created. We got screenshots in here, which is awesome. Like I said, ClickUp can do screenshots. ClickUp can record your screen, and not just a screenshot, but an actual video. And then so they have all their screenshots in here. They have hyperlinks in here, and it shows you exactly how to use it. So when I am done working with a client, I make sure that they have the how-tos and the SOPs associated with whatever template they're using. So if I create this for a client, I will basically just take this, because this program right here, ClickUp, they already did this. There's no reason for me to reinvent the wheel. So I can easily just take this, keep it inside the template, let the client have it and say, hey, this is how you use it. You just go through, bam, 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 click it. And of course, if I want to add anything else, I absolutely can. Well, let's get to the mind mapping. So now I have a new client. I want to go about onboarding them. I want to go about creating their onboarding system, not mine, but their onboarding system. So I'm going to go to view and I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to go to mind mapping. So mind map, visualize your workspace hierarchy or create your own free-form minded map for planning and organization projects and ideas. So I can start with a blank one, or I can start with, so look here, visual representation of existing folders and lists. So the folder that I made over here in the all task, I can get a visualization of this so I can make sure that the progression of it is correct, or I could just start from scratch. Unless it's specific to something I'm trying to, maybe I feel like there's a hole in the template or a hole in the workflow. I usually don't do this. I usually just start from scratch. Now, I don't want you guys to be, to find this to be intimidating, because it's like, okay, now what? It's a big blank space. Well, this is really cool. So right here, as you see, it says the root node. So this is going to be kind of like a tree in a way. So I'm actually going to click on this and I'm going to move it. I like to have it the corner of the page so that way I have the most room. Now down here is actually a small window, and you could actually zoom in, you can zoom out. So if I have a lot going on and I'm like, oh my goodness, there's so much here, I want to zoom out, I'll be able to see it. So I'll show you that as we build it out. So we're going to do operations. Now onboarding. I'm going to do a basic onboarding, nothing extensive. Onboarding a client. Bam, see that? Now look at that. The first line got pulled out. You can change the colors of these if you want. Okay. Now I want to add something. There you see my color. So I'm going to onboard a client. New client comes in. It's time to onboard them. I'm going to make sure that they get the welcome packet or email, however you do it. Okay, now look, you see that it pulled another one down here. I'm going to actually go in here and I'm going to say, okay, you know what? This is step 1. So I'm going to do that. And then this area right here, I could either go out this way, or I can actually go down from here. See that, how it extended it? So I'm going to go step 2. It's going to be the welcome packet. My welcome packets have a lot of stuff on them. It has the expectations on it. It has the things that, what do I need from you first? Just some information about working with me with you being a client, things like that. But then I have another thing where it's called pre-work. Okay. And then I have number 3 is going to be email sequence. Okay. Let's see. Activate email sequence. Put that back in. Now, if you have any type of system, or if you don't, you need to make sure that you have something that welcomes them. Make them feel special from the beginning. The moment they decide to be a client with you, you want them to feel special, like you're taking it serious right from the beginning. And this is a good way, if you have some prep to do, this is a good way to kind of like fill the space so you're not MIA for a bunch of days. So then I have the welcome packet. I have some pre-work that I send to them. So it's gonna be, this is for them, not for me. Okay. And then activate email sequence. So we're gonna name that. We're gonna do pre-work email sequence. Now, do you see how this is set up? I don't mind this. This doesn't bother me. It's actually still pretty clean. But say I had a bunch of different extensions coming off here, 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 here. I can come over here to the right side and I can click re-layout. And then bam, it organizes it nice and neat. See that? Now I want you guys to take a look down here. You see how it's showing up? You see how you can see like a little branch here? I'm going to zoom in. See that? Look at that. It allows me to look at where I want to look at. Okay. I'm going to keep it that big. I like it that big. It's good for the training. Okay, so now after I do that, I want to have another sequence or another part that begins. So welcome packet, pre-work for the client, activate pre-work sequence. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm actually going to take this, and this is the good thing about mind mapping. I want this to be attached there. So I'm going to reset it, bam, because this is pre-work that's going to be associated with that. And you see how easily I moved it? I just clicked on it and then moved it, and then I relayed it out. So that way it's nice and organized. So I love that this is big, but do you see how we would really need to change the view a little bit if I keep building out, which I'm going to. But now I'm going to build out from the email sequence. So I'm going to move over here. I'm going to zoom out a little bit because I want to have some room. So email sequence. So I'm just going to label them email 1, email 2. If you guys are in need of an email sequence for onboarding, I do have some templates that you can purchase. Email 4, email 5. We'll just stop there. And again, that doesn't look correct. Okay, there we go. So remember what I said, how if you just start pulling them out, it kind of looks messy. I want it to be nice and clean. Bam. See that? And again with the ale. Okay. So now I have this process. Okay, I'm going to onboard a client, welcome packet pre-work for client, activate pre-work email sequence. This is the email sequence that I'm activating. And then you can stop there if you want and then create a new workflow, or you can just continue to build. And then, of course, the bigger it is, you can zoom out and see it. Now let's do one more. Now, if I'm working on a client, I try to keep everything together. Let's see if we can, that's why it's here inside the project. So I'm going to do another one real quick. I'm going to show you how to map out. Let's see, what would be beneficial for you guys? Oh, let's do the lead. We'll do the lead one. So we're going to do a new mind mapping. Now, if I wanted to, I could have started from the lead on here and just added it on to the previous one, like put it in front of it, but I want to show you how to do it from scratch. So again, we have the root node. I'm going to bring it over here, and this is going to be new warm lead. Okay, so new warm lead. That means the person has reached out to you. You gave them your link for your scheduler or whatever it may be, or you gave them the link to apply for a service that you have. So new warm lead, we're going to have, I'm going to give you a basic one. So consultation call. You can call it discovery call. You can call it consultation call, whatever works for you. Okay. And I'm actually going to go straight off of here. So it's like a progression. And then we're going to go after the consultation call. We're actually going to change that a little bit. Scheduled. And then we're going to say consultation call, questionnaire sent. This should be an automated thing. If it's not, we definitely got to figure out how to do that. On my consultation calls, if it's somebody that goes in and they're just requesting a 30-minute call, they don't know which VIP day they want to get, they actually can just make a call, schedule a call, and then because they're not applying, I still have it set up that once they schedule or have an inquiry, they get a questionnaire sent to them, essentially with the same questions that are on the application. So not exactly, but essentially. So then we got Let's look at this. New warm lead, consultation call scheduled, consultation call questionnaire sent. Well, let's do it differently because we're mapping it out. So we want to fix my spelling. Send consultation call, right? And then we want to, next thing, we want to review the questionnaire because we want to make sure that they are a good fit, right? Even though you want to preset things up, you really still, you have control. This is your business. You want to make sure that you can actually, it's not only whether you want to work with the person, you have to be very honest and transparent to make sure you can actually help the client. Because if you can't help the client and you're not a good fit for the client yourself, the outcome and the fulfillment of the project, service, whatever it's going to show that it's not a good fit. And then now you have a person out there when actually all that it wasn't that your service is bad. It wasn't that you are bad at your service. It wasn't any of those, but because you weren't a good fit, you did not get them the results they were looking for because it just wasn't a fit. So now they're out there with, oh, that person, they're no good. They weren't able to help me. So that's a person out there with a negative review of you when really you just weren't a good fit. So you really want to keep that in mind. So that's why this is really important. Okay, so review questionnaire, right? And then we got consultation day. Consultation call day. Let's clean this up a little bit. Okay. And then we're going to go here. So we have the consultation day. They are a good fit. Everything is great. Everything is wonderful. They love you. You love them. Hurrah, hurrah. What do we do now? Right? So now I'm going to do it as if you guys are using I would say the old form. And then I'm going to show you how it happens with the program that I use and what I set up for my VIP day clients. This is a different VIP day. This is the one we're talking about is a operations hub for ClickUp. I also have one for client management and onboarding, stuff like that through Honeybook. So let's actually move this over some so that way I can see everything. I'm going to go out a little bit. There we go. So consultation call, everything went great. They are an amazing fit. What now? Now we're going to begin new clients process, right? It's not onboarding yet. So what happens? Let's move this over a little bit. So what happens? They are a new client, right? Now we're going to begin the new client process. So the way that almost everybody does it is we do, well, right now, if you're doing it this way, I don't do it this way, but you have a contract. You send the contract through, we'll say DocuSign or some other forms, now signs, whatever it is you use, right? Then you send invoice through PayPal or other program, whichever one you use. Okay. Now you're wanting them to, now you have to check to see, well, actually, I'll go over that in a second. Then after they sign, they pay, then you have to go and actually set up the hold on a second, guys. Yeah, I'm gonna have to block somebody. Give me 1 second. This is weird. Let's block you. Block everything. Thank you. Don't be a creeper. Okay, back to the training. That's weird. Okay, so contract through DocuSign. send invoice through PayPal. Oh my goodness, look at my spelling. It's horrible. I'm typing way too fast. And that sounds silly, but okay. Now we want to, I gotta add this in. Manually set up welcome packet, right? Because we're gonna go in here, we're gonna actually add this, we're gonna edit this. Manually create a personalized contract. Okay. Now we want to create personalized invoice. Okay. And then send. So we got to manually create it. You got to create personalized send invoice through PayPal or other. You got to manually set up the welcome packet, right? Now we're going to do another one. Let's see. Is there anything else that we have to do here? So, okay, and then we're going to do begin onboarding once signed and send. Oh, wait, let's see. Workflow. Hopefully you have one. And then we can, let's see what else needs to be done. Create, it's hard to do it this way because the way I do it, I don't actually do all these steps like this. So create welcome email or packet. Or maybe you don't, but you need to get ready for them. So you go silent for a few days and the client freaks. There we go. This is I'm going off of this because this is how it's happened. This is how I've done it. I've actually done it in the past before I learned how to do all the systems and things like that. So when I first started, this was literally the process that I would follow, and it would take so much time. So this is, let's clean this up. So here we go. We got new warm lead, consultation call scheduled, send call questionnaire, which that actually was not part of it. Review the questionnaire, consultation call day, begin new client process. So we got to manually create the personalized contract through DocuSign, create the personalized invoice through PayPal, manually set up the welcome packet, begin onboarding once signed workflow. So begin I don't like that workflow. Get out of there. And then we have the create welcome email or packet or go silent for a few days and the client freaks. This is not far-fetched, people. This is exactly what happens. And if you're being honest with yourself, then you know this is exactly what happens. Now, if this is not what happens, or maybe like one or two things happen, then fine. That's great. That means you're ahead of the game. But if any of this is happening, then this is a no-go. So we're going to actually get rid of this because I don't like this process at all. This is what we're going to do. Okay, so what we should do is activate new prospect workflow. That's it. Okay, you should just activate it and then everything goes, right? Now, inside of the new prospect workflow, there might be one or two things that you have to, maybe they need to choose something, but really I'm going to explain to you exactly what has to happen. So activate new prospect workflow, right? So in this workflow, we have, let's make this smaller so you can see. Let's make this like this. we're going to go down here just to clean it up a little bit. Okay, so activate prospect workflow. We're going to zoom in here because this is not, right now that's all I need to see. So I'm okay with just seeing this part. Okay, so what does my workflow, I'm going to give you guys a little sneak peek of what my workflow consists of. Okay, let me see real quick. Let me pull this up. Nope, that's not what I was doing. Okay. So what does a workflow that is streamlined, what does it look like? Okay. So when somebody becomes a new client, like a prospect, we'll say prospect because until they pay and sign, they're not a client. So what happens in my system? So I activate the new prospect workflow, right? So what I do is with the program that I use, what happens is I actually create a proposal, not an invoice, not a straight contract, a proposal, right? Now, the reason why this is beneficial is because inside the proposal that we create, you actually have the invoice and the contract. This is all in one spot, okay? So after I create the proposal, the contract, let's just bring this over here just so you can see. Inside the proposal is I'm just going to move this here just so it's easier for you to see since I'm showing it to somebody. So inside the proposal is a contract and the invoice, right? Now, all I had to do was I activated the workflow and then it prompts me and says, okay, which package are you offering to this person? Now, I don't have to enter the person's information in. I don't have to enter their email. I don't have to do any of that stuff because when they set up the call with me, their information already got entered into the system. So it's smart fields. All I'm doing is creating the proposal for the person that I'm going to, and it's going to ask me which package they want. I have my packages preset up. I'm not creating packages from scratch. I'm not personalizing it. I'm not doing any of that stuff. Why this is helpful, this is just a little tidbit, because if you keep creating things from scratch, depending on the person, you're going to be spending a lot of time that's not needed to spend. Now, if somebody says, hey, you have 5 sections in your package, I don't need the 5th one, but I need the other 4, then great, awesome. We'll work on the 4, and if the 5th one comes to where you need it, then we'll use it. If not, then no big deal. I'm not going to change my price. I'm not going to change any of that stuff. That is the price that it is. So I'm not going to personalize it. I do all that stuff in the beginning. I make sure my packages are the way I want them. And that way I'm not having to reinvent the wheel every single time. Now, if you are someone who does an a la carte service, that's fine. You can actually edit. But what you're doing is you pre-set up packages, which is the a la carte items, and you pull in the ones you want to put in there and you take out the ones you don't. That's fine if that's the kind of way you do things, but you still preset them up to make it easy. So I get prompted, and this is a workflow that I set up beforehand. Hey, which package does the person want? I click on the package they want, and then all this stuff gets automatically created. The payment schedule, the price, the contract, auto fills in. All I do, I says, yes, I'm good. I can even edit it if I want to. I never really have to. And the invoice and the proposal sends. They sign the contract. They pay the invoice. Done. I'm not hunting them down. I'm not sending them, multiple emails for different things. So like, hey, you send me an invoice. Did you send me the contract? Did you send me none of that's happening. Once they pay and they pay their contract and they sign, which they sign on the proposal. And once they pay the invoice, then the next part of the workflow begins. And that's where this comes in handy. They now, after they do that, I have it set up that it's a trigger, a pre-automated trigger that says, okay, this person Start this workflow once the person signs and pays their invoice. Bam, they get thrown into this workflow. They receive the welcome packet. They receive their pre-work. Their pre-work email sequence gets activated, and then depending on if it's 1 day, then 5 days later, then 7 days later, then a week later, then 90 days in, this automatically sets up by itself. So again, let's go back to this, and then we're going to wrap it up. So this is what happens. Let's actually clean that up a little bit. Let's zoom out so you can see everything. So new warm lead, consultation call scheduled, consultation questionnaires get sent. You review it because you want to make sure that you can provide service and they are a good fit and you are a good fit for them. The consultation day happens. You begin new client process because they love you, you love them. Activate new prospect workflow. It's going to prompt you. This is what should happen. It's going to prompt you which package they want. You create the proposal. The proposal goes out to them with the invoice and the contract. They sign. They are ready to go. You have it to where it activates the next part of the workflow, which is the onboarding. Bam, this is all automated, guys, all of it. And then you say, okay, onboarding a client workflow is activated. The welcome packet gets sent to them or email, whichever you do. I do a packet. Then the pre-work for the client gets sent to them. It says, hey, this is what I need from you before our, actually, I missed a spot here. Hold on a second. Okay, so this actually happens at the same time. We have the kickoff call at the same time. So they get told, hey, I need this pre-work done before our kickoff call. And then in the background, this pre-work email sequence activates on its own, reminding them, hey, your call is coming up in a certain amount of days, or however it is, it'll run through it. And then bam, they're a client. And I start doing, here we go. I start providing fulfillment, which is what they literally paid you for. And then you provide them good service, high value service. So if you are watching this on a replay and you have any questions about this, please don't hesitate to ask me. I will go over something again if you need. Mind mapping it doesn't take that long, but since I'm reviewing it with you guys and kind of explaining things to you, and it took a little bit longer. But you could do mind mapping for anything. Say you're about to go on a vacation and you're like, I need to create my itinerary. And it doesn't have to be like that. It could be up and down. It could be, however you want to do it, whether it's long ways up and down, box here, box there. There's so many different ways you can do it. That's just the way that ClickUp does it. That's the way that it looks like inside of ClickUp. So you can do it if you're going on vacation, you want to create the itinerary. If you are bringing on a new client or you're like, hey, I'm about to bring on new team members. What's the process for bringing on a new team member? You do your mind mapping, map it out and say, okay, after they become a team member, they sign the contract. I want them to send me however they're going to receive their pay, whether it's direct deposit or a PayPal, whatever. Then you want them to do the onboarding process, which the onboarding process can say, welcome to the team, blah, 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 blah. And then this is the stuff I want you to learn. Hey, I need you to review this, this, and this before your first actual day. And this is for training for the stuff that you're going to be working on, and then so on and so on. You could do it for, like I said, onboarding a client. You could do it for your social media. What's the workflow for the social media? How am I going to act? How am I going to do outflow within social media? You can map it out. So hopefully this was helpful for you guys. I know that it seems like it's a lot, but if you are watching this, you need to stop, rewind, take screenshots, whatever. If you have questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I will definitely answer them. You can either comment on the event or the video, or you can actually just DM me directly. I see somebody that said that they're going to watch the replay, but I don't see your name because you gotta give StreamYard permission. So if you could just comment your name so I know who it is that's talking, I would appreciate it. So, like I said, you can just comment on it or you can direct message me and we can connect that way. If you want to set up a call and you're like, I need to set this up, I don't know how to do it. How can I work with you and you do it for me? Just go to my website, FIgueroa Virtual Services. I will actually show you. Oh, hey. Hey, Elizabeth, how are you? Um, let me see. I'm going to go to my website so I can show you exactly where you're going to go. Okay. So you're going to go to FIgueroa Virtual Services. You're going to either, if you're not sure what VIP day you need, you're going to just schedule a call. Now, remember, you're still going to get a questionnaire after the fact. You guys are watching, so you know. If you know exactly which VIP day that you need, and you're like, I want my ClickUp set up, my operations hub, I need my client management set up. If you are watching this and you are a tax dome person, you can just come on over and apply for your tax dome to be set up, for you. If you are like, I know that I need all this stuff, but I don't know where to start. I don't even know how to grow my business. I am hitting a roadblock. I know that I have a vision, but I don't know what to do next. We can actually have a full business strategy day if that's what you're looking for, and we will strategize the heck out of your business and come up with a plan to help you grow and take it to the next level. If you're at 3 figures, we'll get you to 4 figures and 5 figures. If you're at 4 figures, we'll get you to 5 and 6. If you're at 6 figures and you want to get higher, we will set something up to take you to that next level. If you are any higher than that, most likely you don't need someone to help you strategize, but I'm more than happy to talk with you if that's the case. So you would just go here and apply to either one that you feel is a good fit, or you can just schedule a call, whichever is best for you. So, yes, I'm actually good. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining me. I greatly appreciate it. Yeah, watch the replay and let me know if you have any questions. You are someone who has, I believe you have a service. I think you're still doing products and stuff like that, but you can utilize ClickUp a million times over for sure, and keep your business streamlined, clean, and you're not having to worry about paying somebody. I do feel like you should have a team. A business should have a team in order to grow. But when it comes to someone that's kind of doing like product based things, it's a really good way to get yourself organized when it's just you're just a solopreneur, you're the only one running the company. So, again, thank you so much for watching. You can watch this on a replay, and tomorrow I'm going to actually, not tomorrow, Monday, I'm doing part 4. And I know Monday's a holiday. I'm still going to be doing it. So Monday will be part 4 to this. And if you're looking to learn a little bit more of a specific section of what I went over, let me know and we'll focus on that. Have a good day, guys.